Hi, I'm Dr. Ali Megji, and I'm an assistant professor in sociology over at the University of Cambridge. And I'm co-editing the series Decolonization of Social Worlds, along with Professors Alana Lentin and Saeed Farid Aditas, who unfortunately cannot join us today. And so just to talk to you a bit about the kind of idea of the series and why we wanted this book series to happen, which is being housed over at Bristol University Press. Well, on the one hand, we're kind of attentive to this fact that most of the social sciences basically emerged right at the high point of colonialism. And yet, if you look at how many of these social sciences are actually taught both inside and outside of the West, we don't tend to interrogate too much these colonial roots of our disciplines. And so this book series, on the one hand, is very much an attempt to show, look, this is how colonialism and colonial epistemologies shape the social sciences. And on the flip side, this is how those social sciences also came to shape those colonial logics and those colonial ways of thinking. One of the byproducts of the kind of Western hegemony that was built during colonialism was the fact that all of these thinkers and ways of thinking from outside of the West either got erased or significantly devalued, to the extent that they were basically, even now in the contemporary day, they were pushed outside of the boundaries of what counts as acceptable social science. So what we've seen in recent years is there are many attempts to try and recover particular thinkers who have basically been erased by this westernized canon. You see it a lot with thinkers like Du Bois and so on, and Du Bois and his creation of American sociology and so on. However, our series is basically saying it's not enough for people to just read Du Bois and think that that then qualifies them as a decolonial or a post-colonial or a critical race theorist. Du Bois is one of the most foundational thinkers for the social sciences, but he's not the only thinker that was erased by Western colonial epistemology. And so our book series is also showing, look, there were lots of other people and there were lots of other ways of thinking that were erased via epistemicide. And we want to bring valuation back to these within the academy. And so for the precise titles that we're actually going to be looking at, I'll pass over to Professor Alana Lentin, who's going to talk to you more about that.
Thanks, Ali. My name is Alana Lentin, and I'm an associate professor at Western Sydney University in so-called Australia. And I'm really excited to have been invited by Ali to join the series and to work together with himself and Professor Atas because of what they've contributed to the kinds of thinking around epistemicide and the colonial roots of sociology and other social sciences disciplines, which have been so important for my own work. And I think part of what we're trying to do is think about the synergetic possibilities, which is a concept that Ali has introduced, between different kinds of ways of thinking about the social sciences from its underside, if you like, and to give value to marginalized voices. And not only to think about how texts of social scientists from the past have been devalued and marginalized, but also how the discipline, if you like to call it that, globally still is extremely Eurocentric and Anglo-American centric, particularly in its focus. So what we'd like to do is really try to extend a hand, if you like, to scholars working within disciplines that have been marginalized, but also in places around the world which are generally not receiving as much attention as they should be, in order to widen the discipline and to inform, to speak back to the core from the periphery, if you like. So we're really excited to invite you if you are working in the Global South, if you are working in Indigenous scholarship, if you're working with African, Asian scholarship of the Arab world, etc., to think about proposing a book to this series. We're open to suggestion, we're open to chat. You can contact us through the Bristol University Press website, where our contact details are posted. And please do reach out to us, because we'll be really excited to hear what you have to suggest to us.